Congratulations, sir. Every year, as a part of the HYSEA annual summit, we give away the Lifetime Achievement Award, an award which recognizes the exemplary contribution and efforts of individuals who've partnered with HYSEA over the years and their contributions to the IT industry. To read out the citation for the Lifetime Achievement Awards this year, I would like to invite to the stage AVP and Center Head, Pocharam Campus Infosys, Ms. Manisha Sabu.
Mr. J. Satyanarayana, retired IAS officer, fondly known as JS, is a thought leader and pioneer in the areas of e-governance, enterprise architecture, and digital transformation. In fact, he has even authored books on e-governance and digital transformation. During his career as civil servant for nearly 4 decades, JS held several positions at the state and the national level, including Principal Secretary, IT Department, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Secretary, Department of Electronics and IT, Government of India, and part-time Chairman, Unique Identification Authority of India. Yes, that's Aadhaar. He also was founder CEO of National Institute for Smart Government. During 1999 and 2004, he had played a key role in development of Hyderabad as an attractive global destination for IT companies. He has made a significant contribution to the policy as well as practices of deploying technology innovatively in public sector. He has led 20 transformational projects over last 2 decades, which include popular projects like eSeva, one-stop shop for citizens of services, and Passport Seva. He is currently Chief Advisor, Center of 4th Industrial Revolution, World Economic Forum. He is member of Advisory Board, Global Forum for Cyber Expertise, Netherlands, Chief Advisor, National Digital Health Mission, Government of India. It gives HYSEA immense pleasure in presenting Lifetime Achievement Award to Shri J. Satyanarayana.
Satyanarayan sir, your life sir, you can speak.
Thank you. Honorable Minister for IT, Sri KTR Garu, Principal Secretary IT and C, J.S. Ranjan Garu, all the dignitaries, all the delegates. I am truly honored to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award today. I thank HYSEA for giving me this prestigious award. I feel privileged to have received it from the Honorable IT Minister of Telangana State, Sri KTR Garu. Unfortunately, due to unavoidable reasons, I could not be present to receive the award in person. I would like to congratulate Mr. Sajjanar for this special award and all the other award winners today for their excellent contribution, not only to the IT but to the general welfare of the public. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who have helped me in my life and career. This award really belongs to all of them. First of all, I thank the members of my family for supporting me at all stages of my life. I thank the Chief Ministers, Ministers and senior colleagues for the opportunities and guidance provided to me and for encouraging me to work on innovative projects. I thank my colleagues for their cooperation and collaboration in implementing the several projects. I thank the hundreds of IT companies and thousands of professionals who helped me in designing and implementing several projects at the state and national levels. I am grateful to the tens of thousands of employees who had taken these projects to the grassroots level and helped redefine the citizen services. I thank all the CEOs of the IT companies who had reposed their faith in Hyderabad, established facilities here, and created a huge positive impact on our economy. I dedicate this award to all those I have mentioned. Getting the Lifetime Award makes me retrospect a little bit. Why is this award called a Lifetime Award? Probably because what we gain in each stage in life contributes to our thoughts and actions that lead to our achievements. In the early childhood, we imbibe the basic values which make up our character. The student life provides us the opportunity to acquire knowledge, discipline, the ability to think rationally, and to solve problems. The early part of the career teaches us how to work with the community and to understand societal values like empathy, inclusivity, and service orientation. This reminds me of my own early career. Fresh from the Masuri Academy, I started my journey at Manakondur village in Karimnagar district in 1978. I had stayed in the village for a month, learning the way land records are kept and mutations are done based on registered deeds, etc. At the time, I had no idea that 20 years later, as the Commissioner and IG of Registration, I would lead a change in the way registrations are done through the CARD project. Or that 30 years later, as Chief Commissioner of Land Administration, I would lead a project called Webland Project, where the paper-based land records would be digitized and made accessible online. The later part of the career gives us the opportunity to make larger impact on the society through planning of programs and policies and designing architectures and frameworks. In effect, lifetime achievement reflects the sum of all that we contribute to the society through the knowledge and experience we acquire at different stages of our life. I have spent a great part of my career on e-governance and continue to do so. To me, e-governance means not just electronic governance, but empathetic governance. Empathy with a pensioner who had not received social pension for 6 months. Empathy with the common man who had to visit a number of offices every month to pay bills or to avail some service. Empathy with the citizen who had to stand in queue for several hours just to apply for a passport, and so on. Projects like e-Seva, me-Seva, and Passport Seva were driven by such empathy and are hugely successful. Today we are in yet another transition, the transition from IT to ET. ET has two meanings. ET can mean ecosystem technologies. ET can also mean emerging technologies. I am fortunate to be playing a role currently in both these spaces. Let me spend a couple of minutes on these two ETs. Let me talk of the ecosystem technologies first. Governance does not mean government alone. It includes industry, academia, and NGOs who provide a wide range of services too. Therefore, we can't architect just systems that meet a specific purpose. We need to architect ecosystems. Ecosystem is like a master plan for a city, while a system is like layout within that city. The concept of systems to ecosystems has caught very much in India currently. Last year, I chaired a committee that designed the blueprint for the National Digital Health Ecosystem. The NDHM program has been announced by the Honorable Prime Minister in his recent Independence Day speech. I am glad to be associated with similar ongoing efforts for designing blueprints for the National Digital Agricultural Ecosystem, National Digital Education Ecosystem, and Rural Development Ecosystem. I am sure that these ecosystems are going to create huge opportunities for the IT industry and especially the young entrepreneurs and startups to create innovative solutions in these spaces. Talking of the other ET, emerging technologies like AI, ML, IoT, blockchain, AR, VR hold a promise for the future. They can potentially bring huge benefits in several innovative ways, but they can also cause harm if not used properly. Responsible design development and deployment of emerging technologies is the need of the hour. And it is the responsibility we owe to our future generations. The World Economic Forum, with which I am currently engaged, is working with the government of Telangana on a project called AI for AI, or AI for Agriculture Innovation. We are fortunate to have the presence of the Honorable Minister KTR Garu, and this project was launched on 12th of August this year. It aims to improve crop planning, adopt smart farming practices, and help farmers to access the markets more efficiently. I hope that the AI for AI project would make a huge difference with farmers in times to come. I am fortunate to have had an exciting journey along the evolution of technology from the days of the PC, personal computer, small PC with a very low capacity, which had only 64 KB, on a floppy. Today you can carry 64 GB in our pocket on a pen drive. So from those days of PC to the today's days of artificial intelligence, during the last 30 years, I have done this journey, and the journey continues. Miles and miles to go before I can sleep. This award makes me rededicate myself to the service of the nation in my own humble way. I thank HYSEA and I thank you all. All the best. Jai Hind.
So congratulations, and we request you to stay on screen for a couple of moments more. We'd like to invite Mr. J.A. Chaudhary to receive the award on your behalf. Please do join us on stage, Mr. J.A. Chaudhary. I would now like to invite to the stage Mr. R. Srinivas Rao, COO HYSEA, to set the context for the white paper on Surging Ahead, the Resilient Hyderabad ITES Industry, alongside KPMG and CBRE.
Good evening, everyone. As most of you know, last year HYSEA did a kind of a sales pitch document on Hyderabad along with KPMG and CBRE, and with huge inputs from government of Telangana, especially Mr. J.S. Ranjan. So our idea was we do that report again, we update it. It's called Scale at Hyderabad 2 years later. So we thought we will do nothing this year, but this year is anything but normal, and the situation that unfolded gave us reason to come up with this white paper. When too many things were happening, work from home, return to office, and productivity, percentages, what will the future look like? So we felt when so much is being talked about, read about, said about, it's time for crystallizing them and come up with a comprehensive and credible, I repeat the word credible, white paper that has inputs from government, HYSEA's own research. We have done 2 surveys, and research from KPMG and research from CBRE. So we have, got together quickly. Mr. J.S. Ranjan, thank you, Mr. J.S. He gave, spent nearly an hour or 2 and gave us, very credible inputs on how the government handled the pandemic and how they also see the future and how they are supporting various sectors and what are the initiatives. And through our surveys, we figured out, how the pandemic was handled in a credible way, authentic information, and how the future is going to look like. So there is a bit of prescription in this, there is a bit of facts, there are quotes from industry leaders. It's a combination of all this. We are happy we brought this out as a responsible, industry association representing Hyderabad industry. And I am thankful to you, sir, for launching this, and we'll go ahead and do it now. And we don't have KPMG team, if I am not mistaken. If someone from CBRE is there, I request them to join me.
రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ రంగంలో నమ్మకానికి మారుపేరుగాంచిన సంస్థ ఎస్ఎస్ స్వర్ణ వెంచర్స్ సొంతింటి కలను సాకారం చేసేందుకు అన్ని రకాల హంగులతో అతి తక్కువ ధరలో ఫ్లాట్లు అందజేస్తున్న సంస్థ ఎస్ఎస్ స్వర్ణ వెంచర్స్ కీసర నుండి భోగారం వెళ్ళు రహదారిలో ప్రశాంత వాతావరణంలో 6 ఎకరాల విస్తీర్ణంలో ప్లాట్లను అందుబాటులోకి తెచ్చింది ఎస్ఎస్ స్వర్ణ వెంచర్స్. అన్ని సౌకర్యాలు అతి చేరువలో అతి తక్కువ ధరలో అందరికీ అందుబాటులో గల ఈ అవకాశాన్ని వినియోగించుకునేందుకు వెంటనే సంప్రదించండి. మంచి ఫ్లాట్లను ఎంచుకోండి. ప్లీజ్ కాంటాక్ట్ 9030232291 మరియు 9491374736.
You could reach out to the HYSEA team for a copy of the same.
I just have to come back again here because make an important announcement that today we're also just taking this opportunity to be able to do 2 MOU exchanges, one with T-Hub and other one is with Task. T-Hub is primarily supporting the innovation ecosystem, and on Task, very importantly, it's a very, very special MOU for us because once the new EC body of HYSEA took over, we went and met our Honorable IT Minister, and at that point in time, he had a thought which he said very passionately that we have to be engaging the industry to be able to train cyber warriors, students as cyber warriors. So with that thought process that he was so passionately expressing to us, we have engaged Task now. We're just writing this MOU, and then we are going to be exchanging these 2 MOUs today. Thank you very much, sir. Your brainchild. I'm sure this will just go a long way and will create a lot of cyber warriors in Telangana with your support and blessings. Thank you, sir. Can we request Task CEO Srikant Sinha and also Ramayar from T-Hub.
I now request our chief guest to address the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister of IT for Telangana, Shri KT Rama Rao Garu.
Good evening. Bharani Arol, you're on a roll today actually. That's because I know you've given out too many awards and you have signed MOUs, and I know even in this COVID times you've done a lot of very interesting things. So my compliments to you and the entire team of HYSEA to begin with. Jayesh, Sajjanar Garu, J. Satyanarayan Garu, to all the distinguished, and eminent people in the gathering. A very warm evening to all of you. As was said by an earlier speaker, this year is anything, but been very, very interesting year, let me put it that way. Because we've seen too many things happening, and as we speak, we don't know who the American president also is. So, a very, very interesting year is what I would like to call it. It has affected all of us, directly, indirectly, governments, individuals, institutions, everybody, in fact, has been impacted. And many, many people, in fact. We are fortunate, the ones who are sitting here, the ones who are listening, and the ones who are receiving awards, and, we are being able to congregate and meet in person. We are fortunate ones. There are people who have lost their lives. There are people who have lost their livelihoods. And there are many, many, instances where, the misfortune of millions of people has been highlighted. We all remember the millions of migrant workers walking on our national highways this very year during the lockdown. It's been a very, very emotional year, let me put it that way. But in the midst of all this gloom, in the midst of all this pandemic, the one industry which has been offering hope, the one industry which has been doing very well, in spite of the fact that you had to switch, change gears and adopt, is the information technology industry. And my compliments to the entire industry. I think you guys deserve a big, big round of applause. Because no matter what, you guys really held up the fort and, stayed put, did what you had to do, deliver what you had to deliver. And therefore today, we see some very encouraging news coming from the IT sector from various quarters. In fact, I'm also delighted that you guys could come together because, HYSEA and even all the other IT companies here have come together, have been able to raise nearly 100 crores of rupees as donations from the industry bodies, HYSEA, AmCham, TAI, NASSCOM, in collaboration with United Way of Hyderabad, and you've contributed immensely to the medical infrastructure in the state of Telangana. My wholehearted gratitude to all of you who've participated and who've encouraged and supported us. These proceeds were primarily used to procure the state-of-the-art COVID testing equipment for the government hospitals in Telangana. These machines will primarily come to the benefit of the poor people who visit these government hospitals, and more importantly, in fact, several individuals and several other institutions, the IT companies, have also collaborated with local NGOs on the ground for distributing ration, cooked food, have provided clothing, a lot of you. So my compliments, and HYSEA took a lead role in this. My compliments to the entire team of HYSEA for actually coming forward. And then, just when we thought the COVID is on a low ebb, we've also seen once in a 100-year kind of a rainfall in Hyderabad, and we've also seen resultant floods, which have again highlighted the inadequacy with respect to our stormwater drain infrastructure. We were not exactly prepared for such a situation. A lot needed to be done holistically. We are, of course, on the drawing table, and we will be doing, a lot to ensure that this does not occur. But again, even during this crisis, several IT companies have come forward and donated even for the flood relief in Hyderabad. Recently, Infosys has come forward and has taken up some works in Hirzadi near their Pocharam campus. Very heartening to see multinational companies taking the responsibility of society around them. My compliments to Infosys on this initiative. The SME part of HYSEA has taken up the initiative to suggest various measures to support the small and medium enterprises, and in this regard, we have communicated to the Union Minister for IT, and most of the recommendations that we made relating to addressing credit issues were taken into consideration. And again, this is very thoughtful of HYSEA and your leadership for providing these valuable inputs to the government. From the government standpoint, we have created an SME advisory committee to ensure that a good portion of the government software work goes to these SMEs. The committee is already operational. Several SMEs have been impaneled and they are supporting the government with the software for the ease of doing business application. The software industry of Hyderabad had shown its resilience during the COVID time. There were layoffs as usual, part of the private sector, but there were no major layoffs due to COVID. In fact, all the industry bodies and HYSEA likewise came together with our government to constitute a layoff redressal committee. We counseled many companies and employees and ensured that their concerns were addressed during the COVID times. We are also empathetic to the cause of the IT developers. We are working with them to ensure that our second largest employer, the real estate industry, is thriving, and we are addressing their challenges as well. Even though the work from home is in vogue now, we believe that campuses and workplaces are there to stay in the long run. And on the other side, the state's IT exports grew at 18% for the last financial year. This is more than double the national average of 8%. An incredible story for all of us to tell the rest of the world that Hyderabad is the place to come and invest. Yesterday, in fact, I was at a very interesting launch, an office of a real estate company called Knight Frank, a multinational company, of course, that you would be familiar with. And this is one statistic that I would like you to reflect on and look at for a second. What they had shown me was the growth from 2014 onwards until 2020. If you look at Hyderabad's numbers, they're highlighted in red. Right next to it is Bangalore, NCR, Mumbai, Chennai, Pune, Ahmedabad and other cities. If you look at the growth story of Hyderabad, back in 2013, we were absorbing, this is the office space absorption on an annual basis in the city, in any given city. That particular year in 2013, if you look at it, Hyderabad had 0.3 million square meters of office space being lapped up. Since then, till 2019, it grew by 400 times, quadrupled. 0.3 million square meters to 1.2 million square meters in 2019. Whereas if you look at Bangalore, which is right next to it, it was 0.9 million square meters in 2013. It grew, did not even double, it is at 1.4 million square meters in 2019. So that goes to show you that this city, in fact, in the last 6 years, has grown by leaps and bounds. In fact, just again, another statistic, we've moved from 6th place in India, among Indian cities, to 2nd place in 2019, from 2014 to 19. That goes to show you clearly that the IT sector in Hyderabad has been growing and has been adding number of jobs and also has been employing many people indirectly as well. But I'm worried. I'm worried about the congestion in the western part of Hyderabad. So therefore, in fact, we have come out with a grid policy, a growth in dispersion policy, wherein we are ensuring that IT developers in the other parts of town, Uppal, Kompalli, southern part of Hyderabad, I'm saying, in fact, earlier the policy was called LEAP, Look East policy. But then later we decided, it should be called Look Anywhere But West. Because, the western part of Hyderabad is getting congested and the infrastructure will crumble at some point. So therefore, I'm happy to share with you that number of prospective potential developers and investors are coming forward. And we will be opening a new cluster in Kollur in the northwest. This is, of course, to disperse the IT around the city. There are also a slew of benefits which, of course, are available on the Telangana government's website, such as the 30% rental rebate for the SMEs. And anyone who brings in more than 500 employees to the grid regions will also get a customized incentive package. So therefore, if those of you, especially multinationals who are looking to expand, who are looking to grow in the city of Hyderabad, I would urge you to kindly consider looking at other regions other than the western part of Hyderabad. And the reason why I say this is because many of your employees, in fact, reside in other parts of Hyderabad. Many of them reside in the eastern part, the southern part, and the northern part. So it makes sense, in fact, to avail incentives and also make it easy, for us to decongest the city of Hyderabad. We're also, in fact, going to be breaking ground for an IT tower in Kompalli next week. And we already have more than 200 SMEs interested in taking space here. So that's a very heartening sign from my perspective, because that will help me in decongesting the city as well. And yesterday, in fact, we have approved the integrated township policy, wherein our vision of creating more satellite townships or counter magnets around the city of Hyderabad, that is outside of the outer ring road, 5 kilometers outside of ORR, has also been unveiled. We are offering again significant benefits, fiscal incentives to those developers who will set up these integrated townships with the theme live, work, learn, play, wherein essentially suburbanization and large scale adoption of such efforts would really help again decongesting the core city of Hyderabad. We also in fact have opened IT towers in tier 2 towns such as Karimnagar and Warangal, and it is already running at full capacity. There's already demand for a phase 2 and an expansion there, and we will be definitely doing it. We're also opening an IT tower in Khammam very soon, in Nizamabad and Mehboob Nagar later this year or early next year. Like I also pointed out, Cyient, Tech Mahindra have already expanded into Warangal, and I am looking at a couple more very interesting names moving to Warangal as well and opening their facilities as well. I would request HYSEA, in fact, to partner with our innovation platform T-Hub, which they have already done. In fact, today also commemorates the 5th anniversary of T-Hub. Exactly 5 years ago, T-Hub was unveiled in Hyderabad. It shaped up well, but a lot more needs to be done. As Satyanarayan Garu pointed out, in terms of ET, as he called it, ecosystem technologies, a lot more needs to be done, a lot more collaborative effort and a lot more synergies also need to be explored. I'm delighted that HYSEA has also entered into an MOU with TASK. Now, one of the things I can certainly say, as we all work from home, as the reliance on networks, as the reliance on bandwidths, as the reliance on ISPs and telcos continues to grow, one of the things we need to be wary of is cybercrime. Now, cybercrime is something that has been growing, and we are all at one stage or another going to run into this issue. So therefore, I had asked Bharani and the entire team when they had visited me, back when we were not wearing masks, I think. We had a chat and we were talking about how HYSEA possibly needs to work with TASK and other entities also to create more cyber warriors. We have a super cop here, our Cyberabad CP, Mr. Sajjanar. I request him and the Cyberabad Security Council also to start working on multiple initiatives which will also ensure deterrence in terms of preventing or in terms of in fact reducing cybercrime in our state, and let us lead again from the front as an example, as a leading state. And I do believe this is possible with industry active participation and active collaboration. I'm delighted, Bharani, that you've taken the initiative forward. Once again, I thank HYSEA for playing a key role in ensuring sustenance of the Hyderabad ecosystem here. Congratulate the management committee and all the award winners and the participants who were brave enough to attend this physical event. My compliments, and once again, thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much for your address, sir. We hope under your patronage and auspices, the IT industry in the state continues to grow in leaps and bounds. I now request Mr. Bharani to felicitate our chief guest.
శివగాయత్రి ఎంటర్ప్రైజెస్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటర్స్ ఫర్ సబ్మెర్సిబుల్ పంప్స్ మీ గృహ వ్యవసాయ పారిశ్రామిక నీటి అవసరాలకు స్పైరన్ మరియు కోర్సా సబ్మెర్సిబుల్ పంప్స్ మరియు డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటర్స్ ఫర్ వాటర్ సాఫ్ట్నర్స్ హిమజల్ ఆర్వో ప్లస్ ఆల్కలైన్ వాటర్ ప్యూరిఫైర్స్ శివగాయత్రి ఎంటర్ప్రైజెస్.
I now request President and COO First Source and Secretary of HYSEA, Mr. Prashant Nandila, to deliver the vote of thanks. And right after that, we will have the EC of HYSEA join us on stage for a quick photograph, followed by the MC of HYSEA. Over to you, Prashant.
Thank you, Shobna. It's a great privilege to sort of conclude the HYSEA Annual Innovation Summit 2020 in collaboration with STPI and the Government of Telangana. I would like to thank everybody for their support during this endeavor. It's been a fantastic event. Firstly, Honorable Minister Garu, thanks for gracing the event, for your wonderful support and being the pillar of strength for this industry. Thank you so much for your support and encouragement as we march ahead in your vision that you outlined earlier. We would also like to thank Sri Jayesh Ranjan Garu, Principal Secretary ITNC, Government of Telangana. He's been like a pillar of support for us, always willing to give ideas, coach us, mentor us, and be there always for us from a business standpoint. Dr. Omkar Rai Garu, Director General of STPI. We had a wonderful partnership with them for over a decade and a fantastic partnership to run these events. Mr. J. Satyanarayana Garu, Advisor for the World Economic Forum, and multiple advisory roles in the Government of India and several other government bodies, for a key figure for establishing Hyderabad as a preferred destination for the IT/ITES industry. We also had Mr. C.P. Gurnani Garu, CEO and MD for Tech Mahindra, gracing the occasion and speaking to us earlier today. TechM is one of the top 5 employers in Hyderabad and continuously starts adding people to this state. We also had UB Praveen Rao Garu, CEO Infosys, who had a wonderful opening note today. Infosys is consistently rated as a top employer in the state and also a very purposeful organization supporting several CSR initiatives in the state for several years to come. We also had a leadership note by Mr. Jan Band, founder of the Band Corporation and Cordis Corporation. They've been one of the early members who came to this state and placed bets and invested significantly in the state of Telangana and Hyderabad, and is still associated in mentoring, coaching and building real estate space in this place. Last but not the least, I think Sri Sajanar Garu, thanks for gracing the occasion. And Sajanar Garu, as Barney spoke, was instrumental in enabling work from home for us and just making sure that it's a safe city for all of us. Thank you for gracing the occasion. A few other things which I wanted to bring out. I think this event could not have been successful without all the government dignitaries that sort of participated and helped us in the course of the launch to success. We had 20 plus fellow speakers and panelists and industry leaders who have graced this occasion and participated in this event since morning. We had a hugely successful morning session with over 1,200 delegates clued on almost for the entire 4 hours of the initial session. I also wanted to mention a special thanks to Sri Amarnath Atmakuri Garu for his continual support to HYSEA in terms of liaising with the government, with the industry and providing us enough support as and when we need it. Another important part was looking at a future perspective, and I think we partnered with KPMG last year and this year as well. Both KPMG and CBRE are trusted partners for HYSEA. We worked together to create a report which I think was launched some time back. Thanks for your support as we went out. I think this event is very special for us outside of being an annual event. It's also an event where, we do a lot of product awards, a lot of hard work by the jury. Sesha covered that. But I think thanks to all the jury members for both the product and the service awards, for running this in a very tight process and making sure that the best got selected to the process. So thanks for all your efforts. I also would like to thank STPI and SEZ for providing data and information and partnering with us during the venture. Special thanks to Sri Ramprasad Garu. Nothing can possible without sponsorship. I think we had some fantastic sponsors on annual sponsors, industry patrons, ecosystem patrons like Broadridge, First Source, Phoenix, Botanica, NSL, ICICI Bank, Capital Line and GMR. I think all of them helped us immensely over the several years and have built long-term sponsorship contracts for us going forward. So we look forward to working with them to expand our activity in the industry bodies. We also would like to thank some of our industry partners, TIE, T-Hub, TASK, academia like JNTU and IIIT. We've been engaged with them for quite some time to ideate and identify opportunities that we can work together to create a better Telangana and a better industry ecosystem in the state of Telangana, more specifically in Hyderabad. 2 more special comments. I think for Thomas Cook, this is the first time we are doing a virtual hybrid event, physical plus virtual. I think they did a fantastic job in running this event. Thank you for your support. I think a lot of hard work went into it. I would also like to thank the organizing committee, the HYSEA management committee and the entire HYSEA secretariat for the tireless nights that they spent to get this going in the shape it is today. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate it very much. Nothing can be done without the support of print and electronic media and everybody who supports us. I think thank you for all your partnership and support during the course of the day and the lead up to this event right from the curtain raiser. Last but not the least, Bharni, you set a big benchmark for us. He's the president of HYSEA and he said, I want this to be a best event for this year, and we try to engage as many industry leaders as possible. To our standard, we fell a little. We could have done more, but I think next time we'll make sure that we have a great event going forward, right? But I think nevertheless, it was a fantastic event. We'll try to aspire, and it's a unique time where we can have virtual speakers. So it's an opportunity for us to engage with industry speakers all around the globe and manage that. And Shobna, thanks for your MC work all day. Appreciate it so much. And if I don't know if I missed anybody, it's apologies for that. But I wanted to thank everybody, one and all, for the fantastic efforts for this year, and obviously all the winners of the awards. Great job. I think benchmark is going to increase, and like Minister Garu talked about the real estate expansion, I think we're also looking at revenue expansion as well in the city. So hopefully we achieve that milestone. Just one last closing comment from me. Sir, you spoke about the 5th anniversary of T-Hub. I know you are the brainchild behind it. You made it happen. We've displayed the picture there 5 years ago. Thank you for your vision. And clearly, I think Hyderabad is on the ecosystem of startups, and everybody perceives it as a great location for now. So thank you for your foresight. Thank you. Yeah. I would like to call the EC members for HYSEA for a photo op. If you can join us, please.
కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ రంగాలలో దశాబ్దపు అనుభవంతో కస్టమర్ల మరియు శ్రేయోభిలాషుల మన్ననలను నమ్మకాన్ని గెలుపొందిన సంస్థ విఆర్ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్. నాణ్యతకు నమ్మకానికి మారుపేరు విఆర్ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్. ఇండిపెండెంట్ హౌసెస్, అపార్ట్మెంట్స్, విల్లాస్ అన్ని రకాల హంగులతో అలరించే అద్భుతమైన వెంచర్స్ తో పాటు అందరికీ అందుబాటు ధరలో సొంత ఇంటి కలను సాకారం చేసే నమ్మకమైన సంస్థ విఆర్ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్. Please visit VRR Constructions, Varatex Plaza near Radhika Theatre, ECL X Road, Hyderabad. Call to 9100885551 9100885559.